Hello, everyone. It's Charlton and Baba Vanga, who I never really heard of until I started reading up on this. And this story is not totally new, I guess, because Christmas is over now and the New Year's is coming. You know, it was reported on earlier in December, but now many of the sort of British tabloids are going through it. Baba Vanga, who is like the Nostradamus of the Balkans, is what one person termed her. And she's been dead. That's the part of this what's confounded me is how these yearly predictions, I guess she wrote them down or she chronicled all these predictions, which are fairly detailed. And, but they involve things that obviously never have even happened yet, but about the person like Trump. She's predicting that Trump's going to go deaf this year. But she died herself in 1996 at the age of 85, I think, from breast cancer. She actually predicted her own death 2 years prior to that, but, whichever. She was 85 or 83 going on. So, but the predictions are, and then there's other predictions that are just crazy, just absolutely, she predicts the end of the universe, I think, in the year 5079, but supposedly she had many powers, according to her followers, of telepathy, being able to talk to aliens, all sorts of stuff. And there's a list of predictions that beyond just 2019 in this Sun article that I'll just quickly run through because they're just crazy, man. In terms of just variety of stuff. World famine, human cloning, the end of disease, a rise of communism. I don't even know. I'll go through in a minute. So, but in the year 2019, she supposedly correctly predicted 9/11, and the fact that the 44th president of the United States would be an African American, and stuff like that. And the 9/11 prediction, even though when I first read it, when the words were pulled out of the exact what she said, I actually was like, wow, man, that's crazy. But when you read the entire, statement that she made for what would happen in the year 2011, this birds of steel, or something like that would bring down American brethren. I mean, it sounded like basically an invasion from the sky, like something that happened in Pearl Harbor or whatever, basically an army invading, a surprise attack on America, and that doesn't necessarily say, like two birds would fly, of steel, whatever. I'm just saying. So let me continue. The blind mystic, who people claim predicted 9/11, the rise of ISIS, the Boxing Day tsunami, she supposedly did predict that as well, the tsunami in 2004 that killed nearly 278,000 people. And that's what she's predicting even worse for 2019. Something that'll wipe out entire parts of Southeast Asia, and I think Pakistan and India, and the countries are named that could potentially be affected by it. Anyways, Baba Vanga may have passed away in 1996 when she was 85, but that didn't stop her from giving her predictions for the next year, so will she be spot on? Baba Vanga is popular among conspiracy theorists who believe that she foretold natural disasters and global events long before they occurred, and 2019 is set to be filled with lots of life-changing events. Baba has predicted that massive megaquakes will happen, a tsunami will wipe out parts of Asia, and a European economic collapse will take place, and Russia is to be hit by a giant meteorite. Not only this, but there will be a Putin assassination attempt, and Trump will fall ill with a mysterious illness which will cause hearing problems. So it goes on. It predicts that Putin should consider watching his back. An extreme assassination attempt will happen from inside his own security team, according to Baba. Putin himself admits that he's already had a number of assassination attempts. I mean, that's not. I think those happen all the time, but whatever. And he's not the only president that should be careful. Trump is predicted to be struck with a mysterious illness that will cause him to suffer from nausea, tinnitus, brain trauma, and hearing loss. Whether Baba is correct remains to be seen, but American diplomats in Cuba and China were affected by similar ailments this year. Oh, wow, I didn't even make that connection. That's talking about like the, the sonic laser, sonic weapon that happened in Cuba. It's been happening in China, where American diplomats, the United States pulled all of our people out of Cuba for this reason, because they were suffering brain injuries, of something they couldn't even identify, and that was giving them permanent brain damage and, brain trauma. And so forth. I wonder if they're suggesting that there's going to be something that's going to be used on the president in 2019. That's crazy. I honestly didn't make that connection until right now, reviewing this for like the fourth, fifth time. I've looked this stuff up, her up, because I was trying to figure out how is it that she's, made these predictions, but she's already dead. She must have written these things down and so forth, There's video over here at one of the European, British outlets. I can show that real quick. People would go visit her, and she could supposedly speak to the dead and stuff. There's a video here of I think parents coming to her with the casket of a dead child, and she's talking to the parents about how she died, how the child died, and stuff like that. I'll play that as well quickly, but just so you see her. Supposedly, when she was 12 years old, she was in a massive storm, a tornado that supposedly lifted her up, and she was missing for days, lifted her up and carried her a distance away. And she remained missing for days. They found her with her face and her eyes basically damaged and sealed shut or damaged because of the sand and something like that. And it literally, supposedly, it pained her to even try to open her eyes. And her eyes remained like that for the rest of her life, and she was basically blind. She's blind. And but she claims she even had her first vision that during that time she was missing. From that point on, her powers increased, and I don't know. I'm not here to give you a full history on this woman. I'm just kind of going over what's being reported now. So, but let me just play this for you just so you see her. This is live video of her when she was still alive, I assume. Even though. So here she is, another one down here where parents are coming to her with, I believe it's a casket, or I think her hands are resting on a casket of a small child that died, and she tells them how she was died, because she asked was it a car accident, and supposedly it was. Or it's no, I'm sorry. I don't know if that's ashes or what. I'm not sure. So, but back to her predictions of 2019. Supposedly, like I said, she's predicted the 2004 tsunami. But Baba thinks another one is coming next year that could wipe out several Asian countries and other places around the world. These include Pakistan, India, parts of China, Japan, and Indonesia, along with parts of Alaska. In September this year, nearly 400 people were killed after a massive tsunami triggered by a 7.5 magnitude earthquake crashed into an Indonesian city. And that's actually the one that just happened now, but that's not, wiping out an entire country where like the one in 2004 that killed 278,000 people. And it's vastly different, obviously. So, I think I mentioned she's predicting the collapse of the European economy. The fact that Brexit is, front and center right now makes people think that that's, that could come true for sure. And Baba Vanga is called the Nostradamus of the Balkans for good reasons. Born Vangelia, I can't even pronounce that, Pandiva Dimitrova. She went missing for a few days, and it is during one of these days that she had her first vision. Baba Vanga rose to popularity as she started to make predictions and developed a healing touch during World War II. So here's some of her crazy predictions that, just all the way out into the future. She predicts that the universe will end in 5079, but global hunger will start to be eradicated in 2025 and between 2025 and 2028, ice caps will melt, disease cured, communism rules. Between 2072 and 2086, a classless communist society will thrive hand in hand with newly restored nature. Mars attacks. Between 2070 and 2256, a Mars colony will become a nuclear power and demand independence from the Earth. Time travel. Sometime between 2262 and 2304 will crack time travel. It goes on and on. The end of the world. She predicts that human beings will become immortal. Immortality from 4,302 to 4,674. Humans are immortal and have assimilated with aliens. All right. Well, that's pretty much the story there. That is the story there. All right. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.